in here. Let's go ahead and get through the scan, see what we got. Of course, we do have EMPH to be watching today. That is the leading gapper in our mid caps. ENPH is our leading gapper in old mid-cap land. It's flagging nicely here on the 15 going into the open. I want to see it break to the upside over in 119. If you can break to the upside over 119 going into the open, I would like to add back to that. And try and hitch that ride up to about 121, 122, 123 into the open. I think we can definitely catch that. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that for a nice move. Hopefully, if we do find some buyers on that, it's holding up really well, but it needs to find that next wave of buyers. And I do have that ready to take a loss on it if need be. I did sell about a fifth up there at 118.90 earlier from a 118 entry, so I was able to take a little bit of profit, but not really enough to de-risk the trade, of course. So we will see what it wants to do. Give it some time to work itself out. But let's see. So we've got EMPH to watch, SEDG. Let's take a look at the daily here. Do we have any range on SEDG? We do not. Roblox I wanted to watch out of the open as well. Roblox is typically one that after earnings you really want to be watching. My biggest concern with Roblox up here is you've got the previous high back here at 47.20, 47.30-ish. That's actually the pre-market high and the high back here from December as well, 47.30s. So I would want to watch Roblox today over like 47.39, just over the high. I don't like it below. I was going to watch it off of VWAP, but at that point you've only got about $2 of range back to 47, which is fine. It's what, 5% of range, but there's just not a whole lot of incentive to the upside. So if I'm going to watch Roblox today, it's going to have to be over the previous high. So that's the only way that I personally can see myself playing this. So Roblox over 47.40. I wish that I liked it otherwise, but I do not. I do not. So I've still got my small size over there at EMPH looking for the curl up into the bell. See if that does want to go. 15-minute breakout type trade, but does look pretty good. MOR was the marger play from a couple of days ago. I don't like MOR. Tesla still trying to bounce off of lows. Pretty strong as well, but not much incentive to the upside anymore. You had range back to like 194, and you're right here at 190 now. So for Tesla, not really a whole lot of range left on that. Let's see. Unity with a pre-market gap up. Do not like Unity though. Lucid, do not like. That was a gapper from yesterday with the China bounces. CLSK, charge point, a lot of illiquid setups here in pre-market. Of course, our earnings names are not illiquid, but a lot of these are. Let's see. PayPal light volume on the gap this morning as well. Affirm with a bounce to 43.80. I want to start watching Affirm soon. I don't know how soon though. I don't know how soon. Every time it tries to bounce back up towards that previous high, it gets shot back down heavy. Now, it has broken out on the hourly here this morning. It is trying to, which is a great sign. But as far as if I like it here, I mean, you look back here on the daily and you've got sellers from 45 to 48. So, I don't know that I like it so much for today either. Yeah, I don't know if I like it so much for today. IONQ, SoFi, no liquidity, AMD, trying to bounce. I was looking at AMD last night. How is it setting up here on the hourly? How is AMD setting up here on the hourly? Let's see. Bouncing well off that 166. Not much range under that 170 though. 5-minute looks good. 15-minute looks stellar. It's got some range on it today. It's about 171, I would say, at most, which for me is not really enough to play today. I need a lot of range, and on these overextended names, it's not enough range for me to really find that incentive there. Juan, what is this turtle we are trading? Actually, I like the turtles. I like the slower moving stuff. It's a lot less stressful. A lot easier. Like I said earlier, I've already sold a quarter up here on EMPH in the 11880s. And I want to see what it wants to do up into the open. But no, I like trading turtles. I think they're good. They're good. They're easy to trade. They're predictable for the most part. Once we do get into the open, it should speed up a bit. The float on this is 132 million shares, so it is a bit of a smaller float on EMPH compared to the stuff that we've been trading the past couple of days. So it should be more volatile after the open, but right now it just has a lack of liquidity, which is why I've only got small size right now. Now, if I do get the break up through 119 at the open, I will add to it because it does have range to about 130. Excuse me, but definitely watch that one today. I hope we get more liquidity going into the bell over 119. I would love to see it. If we don't, though, just leave it alone, cut it, move on. But that's why right now I just have small size due to that lack of liquidity. But trying to have a nice core going into the open, and if not, we can always look at it later for better entry with a little bit more size. Microsoft testing the hourly breakout spot here. I might want to watch Microsoft today. I know we had earnings on it. What was it last week? On the 30th? Was it 30th or 31st? I wouldn't mind watching that one today. Excuse me. But definitely want to watch it. It looks like what? 412.50? 412.50? Meta holding up well, back to 456. Whole market really bouncing here. We're actually testing all-time highs in the market going into the open as well. All-time high sits at 496.05 on SPY. We are right there at 495.96 on SPY. So I want to see how we open today. If we can cruise through the all-time highs and have a nice trend day today, we should have a nice big green day. Should be able to hitch a ride on some of these nice movers out there and really have a nice day today. If the market opens how I'm thinking it's going to, fingers crossed. But lately, we've been gapping up in pre-market and then just trading sideways and fading all day. And it's been crushing opportunities. It's really been a hard time. That's why the past few days have been such small green. Monday was small green. Yesterday was small green. Friday was big green because of meta. But every other day lately has been a small green day. And it's just because the market has not been providing opportunity that I need. Right? So unless you're sitting here scalping left and right, there really hasn't been a whole lot out there. And I'm not one to go around and try and micro scalp these large cap stocks. You know, it's honestly a waste of time. All right, we got roughly 20 minutes until the bell. And as far as setups that I'm seeing out there for today, there's not a whole lot. There's roadblocks and then there's EMPH. And that's really all that I see gap-wise. And the market's testing the all-time high too. Here we go, 495.98, 496.03, still trying to go. We do have the nightly watch list though, which does have a fair number of setups on it this morning. Let's pull it up. FTNT being one of them. This had earnings yesterday. All right, had earnings yesterday on FTNT. I want to be watching this one today. Definitely. Depending on how it does digest into the open, I want to see if buyers do circle back to it this morning. And if they do, then it's definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. So let's see. We've got Roblox, we got EMPH, we got FTNT. Let me get all these pulled up here. And FTNT, I wanted to find range on that back to about 80 today. 81, I think, is what I had marked here on the daily. Let me double check that, though. Yeah, we got 81.24 marked here on the daily. That's the previous high. And the lowest I would allow this to draw down. This needs to hold over like 74-ish. 74 is the main level to watch. So essentially off of VWAP this morning. So let's watch FTNT over VWAP into the open. Range on that is 280 and 81. Well, really 77 to 80. 77 being that psych level. Here's all-time highs on SPY, testing 496.05. Are we going to get the 500s by the end of the week? That will be something crazy. But we do have news tomorrow, so that could change pretty quick. Keep an eye on EMPH as well. EMPH is testing our risk level over there. It is at 116.80 currently. Risk is 116.30. I did sell a quarter at 116.80 or 117.80. I mean, or no, 118.80. We did sell a quarter at 118.80 to try and lock a little bit in up there, about $1 a profit, close to it. And we'll see if we can get the break up into the open. Back to 118 now. This thing is crazy. This thing is all over the place, but it's not liquid. And you can tell now that pop there back to 118 was essentially on one share of volume is what I'm seeing. It's on very, very minimal volume. And that's why I've hated trading pre-market so much lately. It's just because there's not enough liquidity to really read price action. You can usually get a nice core if you get lucky. You at least take a nice core up into the open, and you can look to add on a break of confirmation and at least have a nice core to where it's a risk-free trade. And your average cost is oftentimes a little bit better if you can anticipate, but you know, trying to anticipate does add some risk to the trade, so that is something to keep in mind. FT&T we like. Let's see, EMPH we like. Roblox we might like. I'm not too sure yet. Let's see, CRSP is on the watch list as well. I don't know that I'll watch Snap today. I think it's definitely one to keep on the watch list. I want to watch just over the 1230. Snap over 1230 would give you that range back to probably about 1330 and 14. So I will watch that one today. Dangerous to hold it into the open though. If you're holding Snap into the open, I would slap yourself and probably close that out and wait until you do find some buyers after the bell, because Snap is known to sell off aggressively after earnings. I know it already has, but it's known to continue that sell-off. So I'd be kind of careful with that. CRSP is on the nightly watch list for the break of 67. We got AXP to watch today as well again. Let me get all these pulled up. AXP is to watch over 207.10. And we got good old Amazon to watch today as well. Watching the old big one today. I'm assuming this thing gapped up in pre-market already. It has already bounced, yes. So we are going to watch it over 168.80 today. Watching for the curl off of its, what do we have on the watch list here? The hourly 50. So we're watching for the curl off the hourly 50 down here on Amazon today. It's got range back to 172.50 and then up to 175. Let's see, what else do we have left? Amazon is going to be over the hourly 50 MA. And we've also got FDMT over 35.60. So we've got about 6 main watches going into the bell here. We've got Amazon, FDMT, AXP, EMPH, Roblox, CRSP. Do I have one off of my list here? Yes, EMPH, but we're going to watch that over 116.20. Okay. So we got 7 to watch. Looks like it's going to be a pretty active day. Fingers crossed the market does follow through into the bell, because it is currently at 496.01. All-time high sits back here a couple of days ago at 496.05. Better question is on the Amazon levels that I use the fib retracement tool. So I didn't use fib retracement, I used fib extension to find levels to the upside. Let's see, when you set up buy market on the settings, it won't let you trade pre-market. Exactly, yeah. So the market's closed right now, so you cannot buy market. You've got to use limit orders. And that's another thing that I hate about trading in pre-market. You don't have you don't have stop losses, you don't have, quick executions, because you're sitting here trying to fumble with limit orders. So that's why I just trade small size in pre-market. I don't risk a whole lot in pre-market, and I would suggest you guys do take note of that, because again, focusing on defense, if you have a harder time exiting and taking profits and managing your risk and, the whole nine, it's a good idea to size down. So for higher risk setups, stuff like this, where I want to catch a nice core up into the open, if I can get a nice entry on this with small size, just enough to get my core down, my average cost down into the open, then I'm fine with that. But it's definitely very anticipatory, because stuff can flip on a dime at market open, right? So typically it's a better idea to wait until after open to see if buyers are going to come in still after the bell. And you know, all that jazz. But at this point, now that I have an entry at like 118, if we do get that break of 119 and I can add over 119, I'll still have an average cost under 119, and I can risk 119, which makes it a risk-free trade. So it'll work out better if we do find buyers this way, but it does carry a lot more risk, which means you've got to size down a bit for the pre-market entry. You know, it's not like a pre-market gapper where you've got, you know, crazy millions of shares of volume on these things, because you don't. I mean, on EMPH, you've only traded about 417,000 shares today, which, yeah, it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. Now, you look at Roblox, it's traded about 3 million shares this morning. But I also think the float on Roblox is a lot larger, too. And it is. It's 5 times larger than EMPH's float. So, you know, it all kind of works out that way. It's all kind of evened out. So, big old float, not a whole lot of volume. That's why on the small cap stocks where they've got like a 1 mil float, they've got like 3 million shares of volume already. It's already traded its float 3 times. That's why those are so liquid in pre-market. So much, I guess, more plausible to trade, but I still don't like that either. Back to all-time highs on SPY here. And we have about 13 minutes until the bell as well. 13 minutes with about 7 setups to watch today. Currently green on EMPH. And we are watching 7 different setups. We're going to be watching the market over all-time highs today too. I'm really curious. If we get to 500 on SPY, we are going to see, I feel like, some weird little FOMO rally in our smaller stocks. Not small cap stocks, but I mean like in our mid caps, our growth stocks, we're going to sort of see a bit of a rally, I feel like, from just pure FOMO. There should be some nice momentum to trade into that. I wouldn't swing anything around that because it's obviously I don't think it's going to hold up. But I think there's definitely going to be some opportunity. If we do get up to 500s on SPY, maybe that comes this week. Maybe it comes next week or next month. 500 is going to be a hard level to break, though. 500 is going to be a hard level to break. So it's definitely going to be an interesting time. See if we do get that. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we get a nice trend day in the market today because, like we said earlier, it's been a super sideways past few weeks. We keep on gapping up or down in pre-market or overnight, and then we've got nothing to play at the open, right? It's been like that for the past couple of weeks. That's why it's been such a small green past couple of weeks, and past 2 days have been small green too, because we've had no direction. Yesterday, the market was literally straight sideways, literally straight sideways. Nothing less, just straight sideways, right? So again, just gotta cross our fingers, hope for the best. Hope the market does give us some opportunity. And if it doesn't, we'll just keep on sitting back until it does. All right. So yesterday we were able to have a small green day. Monday also able to have a small green day. Friday, a big green day with Meta. So we just have to keep it on. Keep on track. Stay steady, stay focused. Just stay disciplined with it. It'll be all good. But we do have quite a bit of range on this EMPH today. I want to see if we can find some heavy buyers going into the bell. It's holding up well at 118.60 here, but I want to see heavy buyers coming in out of the bell. The entry here is low 118s. If you're in this high or in this mid 118s, I would check yourself because it's going to be kind of ugly if it does knife at the open. And just remind yourself, don't chase. It's never worth a chase on any of these. They always pull back. They always give a better entry, so never chase. If you miss it, there's always a new play. But this does have range to, real quick, let me double check. I believe we had range to 130 is what I saw max, but our nearest level of range is going to be more like a 127, 128. So we've got about $10 of range from current price. If we can find buyers out of the open, we've got range about 128 to 130. Again, average cost here is 118.15. I'm looking to add over 119 if we can after the bell. But we've got to give it time. Here's 118.70 on EMPH. And again, I've already taken a quarter of my profit at 118.80 earlier. So do keep that in mind too if you are watching this. The market is pulling away. There's 496.14 on SPY. 496.14 on SPY. Are we going to get the push at the open? Here's 118.82 on EMPH. Market is still pushing. Market is still pushing, and we're nice and green on EMPH. Make sure you have taken a quarter profit on EMPH. I already took a quarter earlier from the 118.15 entry, almost about 60 cents per share. And I want to see if we can't get the pop up through open here. We've got about 9 minutes to go, and this thing looks like it wants to open strong. So we're going to give it a chance, see what it wants to do. We need to get the quick break up through that 118, 119 though. Here's 118.90. New highs here. New high of day on EMPH now. Where's 119 testing now in EMPH? Sold more here at 119.11. I'm going to take a little bit less into the open than I did have. I don't want to be risking too much into the bell. I'd like to get down to about half size just because I don't like holding stuff into the open like that. So I'm taking half into the open, guys. Right now I am nice and green on the day. So far 150 bucks on EMPH total. So I've got a half left to take into the open. I'm going to raise my stop loss as well to 117.50. I'm getting a nice move now already. Here's 119, trying to hold and break and find some buyers into the open. Here's 119.35. Again, I'm only taking half into the open, guys. Only taking half into the open. That is it. Only taking half into the open. Make sure you are practicing, focusing on defense. Anything can happen in the open. If we do follow through at open, we can always add back to it, right? Here's 119.40. Already up over $1.50 a share. Already up $1.50 a share. Finding heavy buyers into the bell here. We've got about 7 minutes to go. And we are opening on a really, really good note. Sold a few more shares on 119.36. It's always great to go into the open with some cushion because now we're going to go into the open with about 200 bucks of profit and have that stop loss raised to 117.50 at the 15-minute low. And we'll see if it can hold and keep on grinding higher here, but we're finding some nice buyers into the bell. As long as this isn't a quick little liquidity grab going into the open, then we're good. I want to see this follow through. We've got 7 minutes. So far, 118.15 to 119.50. Well, you guys can't hear me? I'm talking. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you guys can hear me. Okay. Yeah, there's people in the chat were saying they couldn't hear me for a long time. I was like, oh, that's not good. Well, it's okay. Good, good, good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell a little bit more at 119. I want to de-risk the trade, and I'll just add back if we find buyers after open. I think that's the better idea here, rather than giving back my green just because of the opening price action here. So let's yeah, let's just add back if we find buyers out of the bell. I don't want to give back my profit on this. Sold the rest out with about 90 bucks of profit overall. And I'm going to look to play it again after the open. So I went ahead and locked in for now, but we'll look back and play it again after open if we can. But only about 94 bucks of profit on that trade so far, but we'll play it again after the bell if we do find buyers. Yeah, these things can flip so fast at the open, and we did get the confirmation of our thesis, so I can always look to play it again if we do find those buyers, but for right now, it's not a great idea to hold full into the open, or at least half, especially with the 15-minute topping tail there. Not a fan. So we'll do that. We shall do that. We'll play it again if we find buyers out of open, but a quick 100 bucks or so to start the day, and see what we can do with the open. Where did I enter? My entry was at 118. Entry was 118. I was able to sell a quarter at 118.90, and then I sold the rest up around 119 and 119.20. So nothing crazy, but at least a nice little start to the day for quick 94 bucks. And take that into the open, and we'll play it again if we do find buyers. But it's always a good idea to sit back, see what the market wants to do at the open. Otherwise, I would have taken a loss there for no reason. Easy money. Yeah, exactly. Quick, easy money. All right, you guys over on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, I'm going to shut y'all down, get ready for the open, but I will see you guys a little bit later to let you know how I did. Already about 100 bucks today, but I'll see you guys there. Peace, guys.